I'm Samantha Bergen. I think I'm the only person that took the You Must Present Yourself and the PowerPoint part of the rubric literally. So here I am. And sorry if this is fuzzy. This is the second take, and for whatever reason, the first slide deleted itself out of existence, but the rest of the slides should be fine. But this is my project. How much fiction is in science fiction? And why I chose this topic. I have always had a really big interest in superheroes, even when I was a little kid. And as I got older, I started wondering if and how these superheroes would exist given the constraints of physics and biology and overall the laws of the universe. And taking many science-based classes of biology, multiple biology classes, anatomy, physiology, physics, chemistry, I thought that it was a good opportunity to use my knowledge and see if I can find out. And in my proposal, I stated that I could do multiple different genres in the sci-fi genre, and I was told to narrow it down, and superheroes are my favorite thing anyway, so not a bad compromise. And then my proposed timeline, my initial timeline was 1 post a week with a week for a buffer to make the blog and a week to make the presentation and the deliverable. As classes rolled full steam ahead and my ADHD decided to also go full steam ahead, this timeline got thrown to the wayside and was quickly abandoned because I have so many classes where like this class, I'll get the email and I'll go, I need to do that, I need to do that assignment. And then I will go to my in-person classes and they'll say, hey, you need to do this assignment. Hey, you need to do this assignment. And so everything kind of gets shoved back there a little bit. And so what actually happened was whenever I had time, motivation, and being able to focus, I worked on it in really big bursts, one of which being right now. And my blog got blocked about 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks. And so I had to start over, and doing so, the timeline got changed drastically and was very much shortened so that I could redo everything, because they said, this is an explicit blog, we're not going to show it to anybody, including you. So that was fun. And then how much did it cost? My initial budget was $0 because I knew that there were some blog sites out there that were free, one being Tumblr, and seeing that I knew how to use it, I was like, perfect. Wix being another one of those that I knew about. And then as time went on, I gathered a bunch of citations and I realized that I needed to do them more than one by one, and so I started a free trial and then a subscription to the citation machine. And then Wix, once I moved over, it kept saying, hey, use our premium product, hey, use our premium product, hey, get a domain for this. And I said, no, I've already spent money, I don't want to spend any money, you're just going to stay there, we're going to use the free version. And so overall, the only cost was $10 for the subscription to the citation machine, and my sanity working with 2 different browsers that didn't want to work. And then setbacks and overcome. I initially chose Tumblr, as I have said before, because I had used it for many, many years and I know how it works and how to format things on there. But the thing is that I don't post mature content. I don't really do anything of that sort. And so I didn't know that apparently posting about human combustion, human remains, was against the terms of service. And so I got that big block. And then it backfired as I got slapped with the block, and then I decided to switch to Wix, which is extremely infuriating with the drag and drop model. It's supposed to make it easy to make the site, and it was once you have made it, but editing what you already have down completely different story. Completely different story. Oh my goodness. Because you would try to select something and it would go, hey, you have a bunch of different boxes. Do you mean this box? And I'd be like, no, I want this one. Most of my time using Wix was just trying to make it do what I wanted it to do, which was very fun. And so I went and I found that you can make your posts mature posts so that only people that have the mature setting on there. So basically like slapping explicit warning on there so that kids wouldn't come and find it. And so I remade the Tumblr just because I was getting so infuriated by Wix that I had a breakdown. And so I marked all of those posts as mature, and so the end result is I have 2 blogs, one on Wix and one on Tumblr, and you can really look at either of them. And I think that for the setbacks that I had, I did a good job with the time that I had, and I had a good time doing the project when I wasn't actively fighting Wix. And then I learned that I am not suited for online classes. As I said before, I very much need more supervision and more reminders and everything, and more time management and like focusing techniques. I don't know how I got this far without any of those, but you know, we be doing what we be doing. But I think that overall it was a cool project. I was very fascinated to learn all that there was. Here's my blog, and I have these posts down here. I have posts and then sources by name and then sources by post, and then cracking up a cold one with boys. He's the board that you would be cracking open. He's the cold one. It's about cryostasis and how people wouldn't be able to survive if they freeze. It's kind of why hypothermia is really dangerous. And then Like They Never Lasted is about prosthetics and the differences between the hyper-realistic prosthetics that work exactly like limbs do in the comics, and prosthetics that, while have made leaps and bounds into replacing them, they don't completely make up for the limb that you have lost or the limb that you never had in the first place. And then I have Heroes Aren't Actually Really Saving People, which is you have somebody falling and a hero grabs them, but the thing is that it's not the fall that kills you, it's the stop. So if you grab them a couple feet above the ground, or they just hit the ground, the end result is the same because they're going at super high velocities, even terminal velocity, and then they get stopped. And so that force upwards of, hey, oh, we were going and now we are not, is what kills them. And then what radiation is, because it's not a superpower, because you have Spider-Man and he gets bit by a radioactive spider, he would not have such a drastic change. He honestly wouldn't be very much affected overall because spider bites are so small that it wouldn't cause a full body change. And then the Hulk, his initial exposure that turned him into the Hulk is 4 times the lethal dose, which I thought was super interesting. I was like, oh yeah, he's probably dead. No, he's dead 14 times over, which I thought was very interesting. And then Superman having his X-ray vision, and so he would just be blasting radiation out of your eye, out of his eyes. And the key proponent of X-rays is the detector, which is what's behind you while you're getting your X-ray. And without that, it is completely useless because you don't have anything to absorb the X-rays, giving that negative space of the picture. So he'd just be shooting radiation out of his eyes. And then we have the criminal himself, the guy that got me banned, the Human Torch, because, spoiler alert, when people are on fire, they tend to either get horribly disfigured or die. So that's fun. And then the Flash and his Discord Newton's laws of motion, because it's going super, super, super fast, and every reaction has an equal opposite reaction. So if you're going super fast in one way, then the air coming at you is going super, super fast. And so if anything is in the air, like dust or bugs, then you're gonna get lacerations or wounds from the things piercing you at such a high speed. And then here is an example of a post. And then I have sources. And then this nifty little guy right here, my Tumblr button, which takes you to my Tumblr site, which is about the same thing, but obviously it's formatted differently. So thank you very much.